to the Mid-Atlantic colonies. The Mid-Atlantic colonies, as you can see here, here's New England, and New York starts the Mid-Atlantic. You got New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. New York was originally controlled by the Dutch. The Dutch had a keen eye for great terrain. They knew that New York City was, the New York City area that we know today, was an excellent place for trade. And the reason why it was an excellent place for trade, it had a sheltered harbor. So you go into from the Atlantic into the Hudson River here, and there are several islands, Manhattan Island being one of them, that have great deep water sheltered harbors. Great for these big ships to come in. Since it's deep water, the big ships don't run aground and they can get very close to shore and unload a tremendous amount of cargo and also unload a tremendous amount of cargo that are coming down from the rest of New York State from the Hudson River, which goes very far north and dumps all their goods right here. So it's the perfect spot for trade. The British would, or the English would see this and take it over from the Dutch um, in a series of wars that we won't go into here, but just needless to say that the English take it over. And then in Pennsylvania, you got Philadelphia, which is another great deep water harbor. They're able to, or great place for trade, so that they can get stuff from the rest of the colony, bring it to Philadelphia, and it's a great trading post. So these are the middle colonies, and they're marked by excellent places to farm. They have a warmer climate than New England colonies. It's not rocky, it's nice and sloped, hilly, very gentle hills in this area. In fact, they will call this area the breadbasket of the colonies. Now, it's not the breadbasket of America, but when they have the colonies of the three regions, this is the place where most of the food will come from. So it's great for farming. People can come in and farm. Um, so there was, it, you have great trade. So you do have some skilled workers, but it's an excellent farming area. So a lot of people that want to become farmers come in and start doing that. So it's very diverse in how they are going to make money, but diversity really is the key word here. It is settled by first the Dutch, who were very open for other people to come in, and then the Pennsylvania especially. That was set up by a man named William Penn, and he was a Quaker. Now, who are the Quakers? It's a Christian group that well, if you ever go to church, you go to church and then the pastor gets up on the front, the priest gets in front, they say their thing, and then you do some prayers, songs, whatever, and then you leave. Whereas with the Quakers, they would just all sit in a room, and when somebody felt the Spirit fall upon them to say something, they would stand up. Anybody could stand up. And as long as they felt that the Spirit was moving them to speak, they could speak. They wore simple clothing, and William Penn was famous for treating American Indians as equals. He didn't try to steal land. He purchased it. He treated them fairly. He believed that, and this is a radical idea back then, was that he believed that women deserved the same rights as men. This was unheard of back then. I mean, today we take it for granted, but back then it was a radical idea, and he didn't stop there. He offered equal rights to all Protestants, Catholics, Jews. It didn't matter what the religion was. So you can imagine if you're in Europe, you are looking at this and saying, I'm being oppressed because of my religion, or I don't want to go to another country because they'll treat me less because I'm not from that country. And here is a new country that you can go to where they're going to treat you like a first class citizen, not a second class citizen. They're going to allow you to run your business. So the entire world, basically, at least the European world, starts funneling into these uh, these colonies here. So they're very diverse, different languages, different customs. Everything starts coming. I mean, we see that tradition today, and especially places like New York. If you go into New York, you could walk down the street in Manhattan and hear 5 to 10 languages just as you're walking around. And that's exactly what was going on back then, that this was the accepting area of the colonies. And so they would get people from all sorts of different countries. We're talking Germany, Denmark, France, Spain, the Nordic countries like Norway, Sweden. All these people are coming in And what's good about it is that a lot of these people are being suppressed by the system back in Europe where their talents can't show. And now they get to come to a place where they can benefit, personally benefit from their own talents. So if they're really good artists, they can come into New York and start performing their art, and people will pay for it because it's good art. You don't have to go through a lord or a king or anything, and if they don't if they don't like your art, if they don't like your way of building buildings or whatever, then you can't do anything. Here, if somebody likes it, then they start buying it. If enough people like it, then you're going to do well. So if you're talented, you're going to succeed in the middle colonies. Um, I think that's just about it. I mean, diversity really is the key here, the breadbasket of the colonies, you should remember. And then it's New York, New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania, this area right in here. We've got Maryland and Virginia down here, and then the New England colonies over here. So if you're familiar with that, diversity and breadbasket of the colonies, I think you're going to get the gist of this area here.